Going live.
Oh, shit. You gonna be able to do all this out?
Con. I'm about to share the. I'm ready.
Ready?
Con.
Yeah. Giving all praises to the Most High.
Okay, I just shared the link. I'm live on my phone too.
Okay. Well, how you finna cover up your phone?
Yeah, I don't need it.
Line up?
Con.
That's good. Hey, it's a beautiful day. It's Saturday, the Sabbath. Yeah, we out here on the Sabbath, doing the work of the Most High to forward the movement, the second march, the Exodus movement. Because we got the power, we're sovereign, and we're transit, foreign, non-resident, Hebrew Israelite, dual American national republics. Protection of the federal government, internationally, locally, federally, statewide, protected. Because that's who we are. We know who we are. That's our identity, our true identity. All this local legal identities like black, so-called African, American, and or Africans. That's not who we are. We are people. We are true people. We are a nation. We are a kingdom of people. A people that was brought over here on slave trade, during this transatlantic slave trade. Which way we talking about?
Straight.
This way?
Yeah, come. I'm gonna cross the street.
Yeah, during the transatlantic slave trade. That's who we are. Putting things in perspective as the way the prophecy is supposed to be, the way of prophecies, the end or the order, the Most High placed them. You know, there was a people that came over here during the transatlantic slave trade of 1619. A royal set of people that was kidnapped from the city, the royal city of Kabasa, of Ndungo, of the kingdom of Ndungo. Yeah. But see, we Israelites, we only been doing the half truth, talking about the half truth of prophecy. We only speak about Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. That says that a people will come over here into captivity. Or that they came over here during captivity on the slave ships. So we believe that, which is true. I believe it because I know it's true. We did. Our ancestors did come over here on slave ships during the transatlantic slave trade of 1619. That's the focus. But I'm concentrating on Deuteronomy chapter, the transatlantic slave trade of 1619. This is it right here?
This is the federal building.
Yeah, we're at the federal building. What is it called out? The Birch by federal building?
That's right.
Yeah. We have a court case here. An international court case here. A federal court case here. Because of violations of Article 36 of the Geneva Convention on Relations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right here. Yeah, we actually this is federal property. This is federal property. There's a difference between federal grounds and other grounds like property. But that's what we have. We actually have business here. We have a case here. The case number is 1:20CB 2988. Is that right up?
That was right. You want me to type it in?
Yeah, we have a case here in regards to the violations that have taken place against we international transit foreigners, non-resident Hebrew, Indungo, Hebrew, Matemba, Hebrew Israelites, whose ancestors were brought here during the transatlantic slave trade. Yeah, we know now that according to prophecy, that
it'd be awesome if that worked. Con.
Yeah, we now know, according to Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. You want something?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got flyers here, to back up what we're talking about for, history and spiritual purposes. But we already know now that according to Genesis chapter 15, verse 13, that the Most High said that a nation of people will serve another people for 400 years. That's prophecy. That's a commandment. That's law. And that's statute created by the Most High Ahayah himself. I'm talking, when I say Ahayah, I speak of I am that I am. Ahayah, Shah Ahayah in Hebrew. Chapter 3, verses 13 through 14. Who sent me unto my people. King James Version. I am Malik, Achaz Baraj, Angola and Bandi, Amihud, Adna Amihud, of the royal tribe Judah.
God.
By the authority of the Most High Ahayah, that appointed king over his people during the transatlantic, before the transatlantic slave trade, according to Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15, that went into captivity during the transatlantic slave trade.
Where should I set this up?
We see that,
Where should I set this up?
Testing 1, 2. Yeah, set it up right here.
This is the angle you like?
Yeah, we right here where we're supposed to be. I hope this ain't damaged, man. I think you damaged it. Testing 1, 2, testing. I think you damaged it. Testing 1, 2, testing. Yeah. Testing 1, 2. Yeah, we're here where we're supposed to be.
Be a little
Yeah,
closer.
this sound good. What you say?
If you want to be in the same frame, the flag can get a little.
Yeah, we are here where we're supposed to be. Cause we're international. We're not speaking locally, but we are speaking locally. But we on federal jurisdiction right now, because we're dealing with an international matter. When I speak international, I mean the crisis of a nation of people that whose ancestors came to the
all parts of the world during the transatlantic slave trade. And you know, those people's ancestors, we got to understand who they were. Everything must be put in perspective. If we truly want to go in the right way we're supposed to go, everything must be put in perspective, how it's supposed to be spiritually, prophetically, and biblically, in the order that the Most High said it's supposed to be. So it all started in Genesis. Genesis, the Most High, laws, statutes, and commandments said, get him, you know, pass out those flyers, man. You know, the Most High said that according to his will, that a people would go into captivity during the transatlantic slave trade. So that's what we're talking about. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a international matter as it relates to commerce, as it relates to the international slave trade. You know, we're dealing with admiralty law. We're dealing with maritime law. That's the law we're dealing with. We're dealing with the law of the Most High, the biblical law of the Most High. We have to understand how to put things in perspective as it relates to we as a people, as Hebrew Israelites, international people, speaking internationally. We're supposed to be protected internationally. Those of us who wake up to understand who we are as a people, as a nation of people, as a kingdom of people, with an international flag, an international royal flag. Once we wake up a conscious people, then there's respect supposed to be given. There's supposed to be protection given to those people who wakes up consciously to understand who they are as a nation of people. That's what we're doing, because we know that our ancestors went into captivity during the transatlantic slave trade. And that coincides with Genesis chapter, give me Genesis chapter 15 verse 13, Ak. That coincides with Genesis chapter 15 verse 13. When the Most High said to our forefather Abraham, what did he say? What did he say according to Genesis chapter 15 verse 13?
The book of Genesis, chapter 15 verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
See, when we understand the verses, when we break down the verses spiritually, biblically, and discernively, we understand that surety means that you will become you will become responsible for someone else. That means that everything you do everything that someone does to you will fall on you instead of on them. You will become a surety. Surety means taking responsibility on behalf of someone else. Did that make sense to you? That's what a surety is. That's what we became. We became slaves. Our ancestors became slaves because of their disobedience to the Most High. That's what Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68 Deuteronomy chapter 28 is all about. The curses and the increases. I don't say blessings, but I say increases, because that's what it's about. It's not about be less. It's about increasing. So that's what Deuteronomy chapter 28 talks about. The increases and the curses that will befall the children of Israel. Surety. Understanding the word surety. Surety means a person who takes responsibility for another performance of an undertaking. For example, their appearing in court or the payment of a debt. See, that's in connection with a legal debt. A legal debt is legal tender. There is a difference between real money, which is silver and gold, and legal tender. Legal tender is something that is a debt, not that what belongs to the people, but to the government. A debt that the government says that belongs to the people. But biblically and spiritually, we must start with the real money, which is silver and gold, as it relates to legal tender. But back to the issue. Yeah, we're dealing with maritime law. We're dealing with admiralty law. These issues as regards to the transatlantic slave trade. We're dealing with commerce as well, with the U.C.C., which is the Uniform Commercial Code statute of all the nations of the world. That's what we're dealing with. We once we understand the difference between lawful law and legal law, then we understand who we are. The Most High has sent us here to let everybody know and understand that He has wakened up the children of Israel, the true children of Israel, to who they truly are. The ones that went into captivity during the transatlantic slave trade of the 1600s. The ones that are spoken of in Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 17, chapter 17 verses 15, to where the Most High said that He would set a king over His people. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15. Yeah, the Most High set a king over His people. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Most High thy power shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother.
You see, after Genesis chapter 15, chapter 15, verse 13, the Most High said in Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15, that he was going to set a king over His people. That He would set a king over His people. According to Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. Then in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36, the Most High says that same king that He set over His people would go into captivity, according to the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28. Read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 36. The Most High shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shalt thou serve other powers, wood and stone.
You see, the Most High said that He was going to bring a king over here in captivity. See? And during the transatlantic slave trade of 1619, there was a king brought over here during the transatlantic slave trade, kidnapped from the city of Kabasa, the capital of Ndongo, the kingdom of Ndongo. That's right. They were indongos, the people that were kidnapped during the transatlantic slave trade. When we pinpoint them specifically, were the indongos, Matemba people. Matemba people. Hey, my brother, shalom. Matemba people. See, we got to put things in perspective of who is who, so we could get reparations according to Genesis chapter 15, verse 14. Because that's the era of prophecy we're in right now. But to get to that point, we first must understand that we also know that a people came over in captivity too during the transatlantic slave trade. After their king, according to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. See, everybody knows about the people that came over here during the transatlantic slave trade. So if everybody already know about the people that came over here during the transatlantic slave trade, then they must also know about the king. Those people king that came over here during the transatlantic slave trade of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. Right? That king, right? I give all praises to the Most High Ahayah, Be'eshem Yeshaya, and Ruach for giving us the spirit and the will to be out here on his behalf and on behalf of our people, regardless of anything, but just having the spirit to do his will as he wants us to do, as he tells us and directs us to do, righteously, spiritually, biblically, according to scriptures. We're talking about scriptures that are actually in the Bible. We're not making anything up on our own. We're talking about scriptures that's supposed to be brought out just like other scriptures are supposed to be brought out. I'm actually offended because scriptures are being hidden. And if I'm being offended, I know the Most High God, Ahayah, Ahayah, I am that I am, chapter 3, verses 13 through 14, has been offended himself. Because of his laws, statutes, and commandments are being hidden. Because the narrative is going one way. I once heard a brother on Facebook say that I thought that Christ was the king. Well, he is the king. But there's prophecy that's being fulfilled. Check and see if everything okay with recording. There's prophecy that must be fulfilled regardless. And we're in the era of Isaiah right now, the Isaiah prophecy. That's the prophecy we're in, Isaiah chapter 11, or Isaiah period, and Jeremiah. Those are the prophecy we're in. So we got to take those in consideration, how they're in connection with Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15, and Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36, King James Version. Give them a copy of that. All praises to the Most High. Give all praises to the Most High. Let's give all praises to the Most High that his word be fulfilled as it is supposed to be fulfilled, in the way it's supposed to be fulfilled. Because we as transit foreigners, Hebrew Israelites, non-resident, domiciled in the kingdom of heaven, right here on earth. That's who we are. And that's what Deuteronomy 28 and 36, verse 20, chapter 28, verse 36 is all about. It's about talking about who we are. Just like Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68 talks about who we are. We can't talk about one aspect of the Bible and leave out another aspect of the Bible, because things are out of order then. Am I right, Aunt? Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, Aunt.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. And no man shall buy you.
See, our people came over here by slave ships too. And see, that's being brought out on Facebook, on Facebook platform, about who was brought over here by slave ships. Again, if we understand that a people was brought over here by slave ships according to the word of the Most High, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, then we also understand that there was a king brought over here during that time too. According to the history of the transatlantic slave trade of 1619. It's recorded history. It's recorded history that a king of the kingdom of Ndongo were brought over here by slave ships during the transatlantic slave trade. And that should be understood too. Not just Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, but everything should be understood as it relates to the spiritual aspect of the Holy Scriptures. We are a nation of people. We're not so-called black people. We're not so-called African Americans. We are not any of those people. We are a nation, a kingdom of people that must be recognized, not locally, but internationally. That's why we have an international royal flag right here that says that we are a kingdom standing. Whether we be one, whether we be two, or whether we be many, we are a nation. That's all it takes to have a nation, a kingdom. One or two, two or more people. That's a start, that's a beginning. And a flag. Right there. That's all it takes. And we're considered a nation, a kingdom. Well, yeah, we are. And see, with that being said, and knowing that we are royalty that was brought over here during the transatlantic slave trade, that my father, grandfather, great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, thereon of the kingdom of Ndongo came over here that was kidnapped from the city of Kabasa and brought over here by slave ships. And now we understand the order of things. We understand the order of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36, and Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. We understand the order that the Most High placed His spiritual word in, of the Holy Bible. We understand the order that He has given us. Because we ask for the spirit of discernment. The spirit of discernment tells us everything we need to know in regards to the Holy Bible, regarding the spiritual aspect when it comes to the transatlantic slave trade of 1619. A king and that king people came over here during the transatlantic slave trade. According to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. According to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. We put that together to understand that that's the order of prophecy. So therefore, according to Genesis chapter 15, verse 13, read that again. Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. When the Most High said that, told our forefather Abraham that a nation would come over here, that we would go into captivity.
The book of Genesis, chapter 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them. And they shall afflict them 400 years.
Well, see, from 1619, when they brought the king over here, from the year of 1619 during the transatlantic slave trade, at that time, during the transatlantic slave trade, that will coincide with Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. Because the Most High said that it was going to happen. That's what he said. The Most High said that he was going to bring a nation of people into captivity during the transatlantic slave trade. And that nation of people is called Ndongos, that came from the kingdom of Ndongo, right next to the Congo. Yeah, that's who came over here during the transatlantic slave trade. And that's who the Bible speaks of. According to Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. According to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. According to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. Those are the people that the Bible talks about. Those are the people that the Most High is waking up so that they could go back to their own land from which they were kidnapped. From where they were kidnapped from. Their own land, where they belong. That's where they belong, because the Bible says so. So we're in the prophecy, since that prophecy has taken place in regards to we as a nation of people being kidnapped and brought over to the United States by slave ships. We completed that prophecy. Now we're ready to deal with Genesis chapter 15, verse 14, which says that after captivity, we were compensated for being in captivity, according to the Holy Scriptures, according to the Bible. According to the Holy Bible, we are in the prophecies of Genesis chapter 15, verse 14. Give me Genesis chapter 15, verse 14, because it's the flip side of Genesis chapter 15, verse 13, where the Most High says, after our captivity, after Genesis chapter 15, verse 13, this is what will take place, according to prophecy. Read,
The book of Genesis, chapter 15, verse 14. And also that nation which they shall serve will I judge, and afterward they shall come out with great substance.
See that? After we and our ancestors served this nation, and every nation in which we were dispersed on all four corners of the earth, we will receive reparations. That's what the Bible's saying. That's what Genesis prophecy says. First it says that we will go into captivity according to Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. That's what it says first. Internationally, we will go into captivity by slave ships, according to maritime law, according to admiralty law, according to the UCC, which is the Uniform Commercial Code law. That's commerce. That's trafficking. That's what it's talking about. Hebrew Israelites, Ndongos of the kingdom of Ndongo, Matimba, were kidnapped from according to the transatlantic slave trade of Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. But again, like I said, we're on the flip side now, because from August of 1619 to August of 2019 equals 400 years of captivity that Genesis chapter 15, verse 13 speaks about. Am I right, out? See? We in the order of things that the Most High said that we will be in order of how prophecy is supposed to be fulfilled. So we completed Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. We completed that. So now we with Genesis chapter 15, verse 14. But Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15, and Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36 goes together with Genesis chapter 15, verse 14. Now we flip that prophecy over with our reparations we're supposed to receive. You with me? See? Yeah, we have case numbers right here in this federal building right here. Case number 1:20 CV 2988. That's a case that we have in this court, this building right here, on behalf of the children of one of the children of Israel. This brother right here, Yeshaya Machiel Yisrael. His case is in this court. It's an international matter. It was local first, but it went to an international matter because they refused to abide by the international law that they created. But we're really dealing with the spiritual law of the Most High, His law. His law rules everything more than anything else. The Most High's law is over all law. The Most High's law is what you call lawful law, but man's law is legal law. We got to be able to understand the difference between lawful and legal. Know when to use lawful and legal when it comes to dealing with every aspect of our lives, because that's how we survive as a people, as a nation of people. But we as Hebrew Israelites are looking to be restored to our own land. Our land that was taken from us during the transatlantic slave trade. That's what we're looking to be restored. We're looking to go back to where we were supposed to worship our Most High. In the wilderness of Judah. But in order to get there, we know that we must have some kind of authority to get there. According to the transatlantic slave trade, that they brought a king over here during the transatlantic slave trade of 1619. Right? So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about being restored to who we are as a people, as a nation of people. According to the biblical law of the Holy Spirit, of the Most High, that gives us the spirit of discernment to bring forth this truth that must be brought out. All we want to do is do the will of the Most High, that His will be done. Not our will, but that His will be done. All we want to do is make sure that we are receiving what Genesis chapter 15 verse 14 says that we're supposed to receive after our captivity. That our land is restored to us. That we were stolen from, that we were kidnapped from. The land that we were brought here on slave ships during the transatlantic slave ship transportation. We know who we are now. We know that we are the Ndongo Hebrew Israelites of the transatlantic slave trade. That's who we are. We are the Most High's chosen people that is ready to be restored to who we are. Because the Most High said that it's time. It is time that we come together and unite. That's the only way we're going to get to where we're supposed to be. We must unite. Hold this out. We must unite, my people. According to scriptures, according to prophecies. According to prophecy, we must unite. There's no other way. And the only way we could do it is by the word, by scriptures. All praises to the Most High. We give all praises to the Most High. The only way we could do it is by scriptures, by the Holy Bible, the word of the Most High. And see, we know the order of Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15 and Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36. And we do everything by precepts upon precepts, line upon line, here a little and there a little. So we also know that there's a connection. We're in the prophecies of Isaiah. So therefore Isaiah must come into conformity, or Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15 and Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36 must come into conformity with Isaiah, with the prophecies of Isaiah. Why did the Most High put a king over his people? According to Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15. Why did the Most High set a king over his people? Why did that king go into captivity during Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36? There's questions that must be answered, prophecies that must be fulfilled in the order in which they are given. We must ask the question, why wasn't Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15 and Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36 brought out with Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68? Why wouldn't they all brought out together? Those are important scriptures. Those are important passages. If we knew Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68 is important to be brought out, then we also know that Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15 and Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36 were also important to be brought out. So I'm offended, and the Most High is offended, because he had me bring it out when no one else that claims to be with the Most High has brought it out. They call on all these other names other than the Most High I am that I am, according to Exodus chapter 3 verses 13 through 14. So therefore, we got to ask the question, why is Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15 and Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36 being hidden? Why are they being hidden? If the Most High, if the name that we're calling on is of the Most High wouldn't want his word to be hidden. He wouldn't want his order of things that he placed in order to be taken out of order, to be taken out of context. So who are we worshiping that is telling us to hide Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15 and Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36? Who is telling us to hide that? Why are we trying to make it be another narrative without Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15 and Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36, along with Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68? That's the order of prophecy, because Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68 cannot go without Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15 or Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36, because they came before Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. That's the order of prophecy. So therefore, those prophecies are about Genesis chapter 15 verse 14. I'm here to tell you, my people, that's the order of things. That's the order of things that we should be concentrating on, the focus of where our focus should be, because that's who we are. According to the Holy Bible, we are a nation of a people. We're more than just so-called black people. We're more than just so-called African American people. We're more than just so-called African people. We are a people that was brought over here during the transatlantic slave trade of 1619. That's what we need to understand. Once we understand and put things in perspective, according to the word of the Holy Bible, according to prophecy, then we will understand. Then we will understand who we truly are. The Most High wants us to understand, because it's time to wake up to who we are, who we truly are, according to the Holy Bible. Yeah, according to the Holy Bible. Not according to us, but according to the Holy Bible. According to the Holy Bible. Not according to us, not according to man, but according to the Word. What the Word says. That's what we want to follow, not the way we follow ourselves, but what the Most High says. That's what they did when they brought us over here on slave ships, according to Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. They brought us over here on slave ships. They follow that order of their Bible. They follow the order of the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28. They follow that order. So if they follow those orders, then they must follow the order of prophecy after Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 28 verse 36, and Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68, and Genesis chapter 15 verse 13. So now they got to follow the order of Genesis chapter 15 verse 14, Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15, Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36, because that's what we're into now. Those are the prophecies that we're dealing with now. And context of Isaiah chapter 11, or Isaiah period, King James Version, and Jeremiah chapter, King James Version. We're talking about Isaiah and we're talking about Jeremiah, period. We're in that prophecy. And we know that Isaiah says that a rod and a root of Jesse shall rise. See? That's the prophecy we're in now. We're in the prophecies of Genesis chapter 15 verse 14. We're in the prophecies of Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15. We're in the prophecies of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36. We're in the prophecies of Isaiah chapter 11 verses 1 through 3, King James Version. Isaiah chapter 11 verses 1 through 3. King James Version. See, that's the prophecies that we're in. That's the prophecy and that's the focus we need to be focused on. How is it connected? How is the prophet Isaiah prophecy connected to Genesis chapter 15 verse 14, Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15, Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36? Those are the order of prophecy that we're in now. Those are the order of prophecies that we want to understand about the Bible. When we're dealing with the Holy Bible. When we're breaking the Holy Bible down with this power of discernment, the spirit of discernment that is given to you by the Most High. I am that I am. Ahayah. Exodus chapter 3. Verses 13 through 14, King James Version. That's who's showing us the Spirit, who's giving us the power and the knowledge and understanding, and bringing forth scriptures that wasn't brought forth previously. So therefore, bringing the narrative into perspective, into order, in the order in which the narrative is supposed to be in. We're talking about an international order. We're not talking about a local order, a low-down local order what we've been used to, calling ourselves black, calling ourselves African Americans, calling ourselves Africans. No, we're talking about a higher order. We on a higher order. A higher order now. Because we've been on a lower order long enough. Give me Isaiah chapter 11 verses 1 through 3. Because a rod of Jesse has risen, that the Most High said. And we're going to show how Isaiah chapter 11 is connected to Genesis chapter 15 verse 14, Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15, Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36, and carries on. Prophecy still goes forward. See, in order to get to the Messiah, we must fulfill all prophecy before we get to that part of prophecy. So let's see how the next prophecy, we're actually in Isaiah and Jeremiah, right? Ain't that right? So let's read Isaiah chapter 11 verses 1 through 3. Because I am that rod that Isaiah chapter 11 speaks about. That will rise. Read out.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 1 through 3. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. And the Spirit of the Most High shall rest upon him.
See, the Spirit of the Most High, the Spirit of discernment. And only someone that has the Spirit that's resting upon him could have brought out Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36. And plus be connected by blood, related by blood of a king that came over here that was kidnapped during the transatlantic slave trade. See, that's what it's talking about, having the Spirit. The Spirit of the Most High shall rest upon him. I had to have the Spirit of the Most High in order to discern that my father, our former king, was the king blood, Davidic blood of a king that was placed over our people by the Most High, according to Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15, Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36, that was brought over here during the transatlantic slave trade. Only the Spirit of the Most High. Read that part again,
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 1. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. And the Spirit of the Most High shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Only the Spirit of the Most High could have gave me the spirit of discernment to discern Deuteronomy 28:36. That's a miracle. That's a miracle. And to find out that my blood is connected to the transatlantic slave trade, all of our blood is connected to the transatlantic slave trade. All of our blood is connected to the transatlantic slave trade. We already know that according to Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. We already know all our blood. But we're talking about, and we also know that all our blood is royal. But we're talking about the order of things. Don't get me wrong that I'm trying to be better than anybody else, but I'm talking about the scriptures in the way that the Most High placed the scriptures. Not my order, but his order. I'm not following my order, I'm following the Most High's order. I'm talking about the order of scriptures. I'm talking about the order of Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15, the order of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36, the order of chapter 28 verse 68. That order in which we're supposed to follow. The laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. See? Because the Most High said, if you refuse to follow his laws, statutes, and commandments, you transgress the law, and your prayers are not heard. Give me Proverbs chapter 28, verse 9 through 10. So if we transgress the law, do you really believe that your prayers are being heard? If the name you're calling on is not having you to bring out Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15 or Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36, then who are you following? Who are we following if they're not trying to keep things in order? Go ahead, read out.
The book of Proverbs chapter 28 verse 9 through 10. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination.
Even his prayer shall be an abomination. See, I would call abomination fornication. I would put abomination with fornication. See, it don't have to be sexual. Fornication don't have to be sexual. You can fornicate against the Most High by going against his law. Read that again,
The book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination.
That's sin. Transgression of the law is sin. Now, what is the Most High talking about? Let's not get this twisted, right? Let's not be foolish and try to twist the scriptures and what they were saying and what they're saying. We know that Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15 is a law, statute, and commandment that the Most High set. We know Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 36 is a law and a statute commandment that the Most High set, just as much as Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68 is a law and statute and a commandment that the Most High set. So we can't do it without going. In order to know where we're going, we got to first know where we come from. That means we must go back to Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15, Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36, to get to Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. See? In order to get to 28:68, Deuteronomy 28:68, we got to go back to 17:15 and Deuteronomy chapter 28:36. If y'all understand what I'm trying to say, the Most High is having me to bring forth all praises to the Most High. Come on, everybody got to understand what I'm talking about. Come on, let's not be a foolish people and not try to understand what the truth is. The truth is scriptures. It's not my opinion. It's about bringing the scriptures together as they're supposed to be. Line upon line, precept upon precepts, here a little and there a little. You're going to get it. You're going to understand it, but don't fake it. Don't fake it, because if you try to fake it to make it, you're not going to make it. See what I'm saying? You can't fake it because it's an illusion. It's useless. It's in vain. All your things that you're doing are in vain if you're faking it to make it. The Most High wants you on order. He wants you in order. What was that? You went to finish the scripture. Wait, what's the verse 10?
The book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 10. Whoso causes the righteous to go astray in an evil way, he shall fall himself into his own pit, but the upright shall have good things in possession.
Well, let's think about that verse. That verse talking about our elders that's leading the flock. So if the elders are leading the flock, the Most High said he's definitely going to hold them accountable for not bringing out his word and allowing the flock to divert from his word. That's what the Most High said. That's what the verse saying. He's saying those who lead those astray shall have to pay for leading them astray. Read it again,
The book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 9 and 10. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination. Whoso causes the righteous to go astray in an evil way, he shall fall himself into his own pit, but the upright shall have good things in possession.
See right here, we're talking about doing the right thing of the Most High. Doing the right thing of the Most High. The right thing of the Most High is keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments in the order that he gave it. But everybody is hating on me. I'm the one upset. I'm the one offended. I'm the one offended. I'm the one being neglected because the Most High's word has been neglected. How are you going to twist that around to being upset with me because I'm bringing out the truth where no one else is bringing out the truth? We're talking about in the order in which the truth was given. How are you going to twist that around? That's called manipulation. See? How are you going to be upset with me for bringing out scriptures that you left out, or that you leaving out, that you refusing to bring forth, that the Most High has given you? But you calling on this name that's not allowing you to bring these scriptures out. How does that work? But yet you being upset with me for bringing it out. That's not of the Most High. That's not of the Most High. That's not love. That's not love. People want me to show love when they're not showing the love of the Most High. How is that working? Here it is. I am that I am, according to Exodus chapter 3, verse 13 to 14, is having me to bring out the full force of Deuteronomy 28. Having me to bring out the full force of Deuteronomy 28. I'm talking about even Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. That's the full force that he's having me to bring out. If you're calling on anybody else, they should be doing the same thing. But no, you're getting mad at me and trying to make everybody believe that I'm the mean one. I'm the mean one that's bringing out the truth. When you're refusing to bring out the full truth, how can you switch that nonsense against me? You can't do that. The truth shall be revealed. The truth is that the Most High, I am that I am, Exodus chapter 3, verse 13 through 14, people are refusing to bring out the full truth of his word. The full truth is Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. He wouldn't have his people to hide those statutes, those laws, statutes, and commandments. If it was truly him, they wouldn't go against those laws, statutes, and commandments when I brought them out, because he had me to bring them out. The truth is being revealed of who his people truly are and who his people is truly following. Who is his people truly following? Is it the Most High that gave us these scriptures? That they follow Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68? That they choose and pick what scripture they want to bring out and choose the narrative that they want to go? You can't do that. We got to deal with Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36 too. Even if we didn't understand Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36, we still should have brought it out and talked about it. Not hid it. Because once you try to hide it, that means that you have your own agenda of how you want things to go. And now, since it's being brought out, since the truth is being brought out, we have a problem with the narrative. Because the narrative is incorrect. Because it's missing pieces. Because Deuteronomy 28, verse 36 goes with Isaiah. We go back to Isaiah chapter 11, verses 1 through 3. We deviated and went to Proverbs verses 28 through 9 through 10 to show that deviating from the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High is a sin. Transgression of the law is sin. And if your leaders are doing that, then they're leading in sin. Okay, let's finish Isaiah chapter 11, verse 1 through 3. Where we leave off at?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 1 to 3. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. And the Spirit of the Most High shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Most High.
Oh yeah, I fear the Most High. I fear the Most High very much. More than I fear anything, because he's got my attention. He got my attention when he gave me the vision through the Holy Spirit in 2012. The vision that I put online that everybody, I'm pretty sure, know about, because I done posted it so much on Facebook platform to let the whole world know that the Most High is here. Yes, he's here. I fear him because I see him. I can discern him. I've heard him. I have seen the Holy Spirit that guides me, that gave me the vision that he gave me to follow, to present to the people. See? All praises. Go ahead, go read on.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 3. And shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Most High, and he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears.
Yeah, you see, we're talking about the 12 tribe chart. the 12 tribes chart of Israel. When everybody is talking about, oh, the chart don't mean anything, it ain't right, it's incorrect. Well, the Most High said that his people shall go in captivity on all four corners of the world. That means that they are inside that 12 tribe chart. It can't be denied. No way, no form, no fashion whatsoever. And that's what coincides with Isaiah chapter 11 verse 3, where he just read, where I wouldn't like judge by the seeing of my eyes. You know what I'm saying? But the Most High is allowing me to understand who's who. Yes, he is. He just is by the spirit of discernment. By the spirit of discernment. Yeah. That's how we're going to come together. That's by declaring our national origin. Where was your ID at, Art? By declaration. By declaration. Declaring your national identification. Your Hebrew Israelite identification. Having it. Your national, your international tribal identification. Which along with your flag right here. It goes along with your flag. We are an international, transatlantic, non-resident, dual American national republic, domiciled in the kingdom of heaven, right here on earth. That deserve protection from the federal government, because we're international people. That's what this identification says. We are an international people. We are an international people. We're not local. We're not a local people. We are a protected people, an international people. See? They went into captivity during the transatlantic slave trade. See? That's who we are. We have a flag. We have an international flag. And we are awake. We are a conscious people. We are a conscious people that follow law lawfully. And if we choose to follow it legally, it's our choice. It's our choice to enter into contracts that we choose to enter into, whether it be legal contracts or lawful contracts. We can't be compelled to enter into contracts. See? We have covenants with the Most High. And see, that's why the Most High set a king over his people after the transatlantic slave trade, because he knew that there was going to be someone that he needed in authority on behalf of his people to make decrees and to create declarations to move his people forward according to prophecy, because we don't have to wait. The prophecies, the Bible is our blueprint in regards to the next prophecy we are in. Okay, just hold that out. We're gonna get there. Yeah, according to the prophecies that we're in, we move forward. You said Isaiah, what word did we just read out? Isaiah what?
Just got finished with 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Well, what was that? Isaiah chapter 11 verses 10 through 12. All right. Yeah, we're gonna get there. Yeah. You see, yeah, like he said, Isaiah chapter 11 verses 1 through 3 says that a rod will rise. And that's what's happening right here. We're in the prophecies of Isaiah. Now we're going to talk about that root of Jesse. The root of Jesse that goes along with the rod of Jesse. That doesn't necessarily have to be the Messiah. It's not the Messiah, but it's someone that the Most High has sent, according to Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15. According to Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 28 through 36. Verse 36. That's who he chose to connect with Isaiah. Read Isaiah chapter 11 verse 10.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 10. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious.
You see, In 2004, I was awakened by the Holy Spirit, and He gave me a mission, gave me a vision, and with that vision had me to create the flag, our international flag, our 12 tribes of Israel flag. And the vision had me to plant that flag and as an ensign for the 12 tribes of Israel, as an ensign, and put it up. I planted that flag. The Holy Spirit had me to plant that flag at the White House in 2014. I planted our flag, our nation flag, at the White House in 2014. Sure did. For an ensign for the children of Israel, and to let the whole world know that the Most High has waken up His children, His true children of Israel, of the 12 tribes of Israel. And as we read Isaiah chapter 11, verses 10 through 12, we find out that it's connected. Read Isaiah chapter 11, verses 11.
Verse 11.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Most High shall set His hand again the second time,
The first time,
the second time,
third time,
the second time,
the second and last time,
the second time to recover the remnant of His people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea.
See, the Most High is talking about gathering all His people that was transported into slavery on all four corners of the earth. See, that's another reason why the 12 tribe chart is on point. It just told you. You just heard Him say it. That they would be scattered on all those places. Read it again,
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Most High shall set His hand again the second time to recover the remnant of His people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. And He shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather them together, the dispersed of Judah, from the four corners of the earth.
See, that's what He said. He said that He was going to scatter them on all four corners of the earth. Now we're coming back together. The Most High is bringing us all together. He's reaching out. He's calling everybody. He's calling everybody. And if you look online, the Most High has had me to create decorations for all the nations in which Israel has been scattered. Yeah, declarations for all the nations in which the children of Israel has been scattered on Facebook platform. Yeah, that's what this is all about. It's an international thing. It's not a local thing. It's a worldwide thing. See? It's not a separation thing. It's a gathering thing. It's a separation as it relates to other nations. It's a separation. It's a separation of the Israelites from which they have been placed into captivity, to bring us all back together according to the Holy Bible, according to Scriptures, and not according to our opinion, but in the process, in the way in which we are to be gathered according to the Holy Bible. Not according to man, but according to the Holy Bible. See? We got to understand what we're dealing with, how we're dealing, and how we're supposed to go about dealing with it. See? I don't hate my people. I don't hate my people, but what I hate is that I'm offended. I'm offended because my people are refusing to bring out the truth. I'm talking about the full truth. I'm talking about the truth of Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. I'm talking about the truth of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. along with Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. I'm offended. And if I'm offended, I know the Most High, I am that I am, Ahayah in Hebrew. Exodus chapter 3, verse 15 through 14. Chapter 15, Chapter 3, verses 13 to 14 is offended too. Because his people is leaving out scriptures. It's trying to hide scriptures. So don't don't act like you're offended at me because I'm bringing out the truth. When you're leaving out the truth and you're telling me that you're calling on somebody else that actually will not let you bring out the truth. Whereas I'm calling on the Most High, and he's telling me to bring out Deuteronomy 17 verse 15, and Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36, along with Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. That means the full context of the scriptures. That's got to be a Most High of the people, because he's leaving out nothing. He's leaving out nothing. And I'm not claiming to be someone with someone that's telling me to not talk about the full context of Deuteronomy. The full context of Deuteronomy. That's right. See? But why is my people leaving out that context? Why are they doing that? Why? Who's telling them to do it? I love my people, but I want my people to go in the right direction. The Most High is showing me the right direction. And there's nothing I'm saying that is wrong, that is unrighteous. I don't want anything but the best for my people. What is that scripture where it says that if they don't believe the first sign, then give them the second sign? Yeah, that's Exodus. Yeah, the Most High says, that he even gave Moses 2 signs to give to his people. I'm going to show you how deep this is, the connection to all of this, because the Most High has had me to give 2 signs to let his people know that he's here, and sent me unto his people to let them know that he's here. You found it out? The same signs that he gave to Moses, similar to what he gave to Moses to give to his people. But we're talking about modern time signs here. Modern time signs that can't be denied. See? They can't be denied. And I'm going to show you how it's connected. How things are transpiring to be open to the truth of who we are, and how the Most High is having the truth to be brought forth according to prophecy of the Holy Bible. You find it out? Hold on. Yeah, because the Most High has given me 2 visions, 2 signs to give to his people, in order that they may believe that he sent me to his people. Read the first sign. What is it? Exodus?
Exodus chapter 4, verse 1.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 1. We're going to see what the Most High says about the signs that he has given me.
The book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 1 through 2. And Moses answered and said, But behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice. For they will say, The Most High hath not appeared unto thee. And the Most High said unto him, What is that in thine hand? And he said, A rod.
Well, see, I have a flag in my hand. That is a rod. The rod that he had me to create, the flag that he had me to create, the flag that's on the rod that he had me to create right there. See that? Let me put that into context right there. The flag, the real flag of the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites, the Most High had me to create. But there's more. What else, Wait, I'm sorry, hold on. When I say that he had me to create, this was from the vision. This is from the vision. That was the first sign he gave me. This is from the vision. The first sign that he gave me from the vision. That's the first sign that he gave me to give to the people. He made me to create that and to use it as an ensign, right? For the people. That was a sign for the people. See? Go ahead, Out.
The book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 6. And the Most High said furthermore to him, put thine hand in thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. And he said, put thy hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again, and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
Okay. That was the first sign, is that right? That was the second sign? After the rod? Okay, the rod turned into a snake, is that right? Okay, the first sign that the Most High gave to Moses to give to his people was to show that his rod can turn into a snake, right? That was the first sign, is that right? Read the first sign again, Out.
The book of Exodus, chapter 4, verses 1 through 2. And Moses answered and said, but behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice. For they will say, the Most High have not appeared unto thee. And the Most High said unto him, what is that in thine hand? And he said, a rod.
A rod. So again, this came from the vision that the Most High gave me. I created the flag, the royal flag of our nation, of our kingdom, that the Most High had me to create. That's the rod. That's the first vision. So when he told Moses what is that rod in your hand? Moses said a rod, and then the Most High, what did he do? What did he do?
And he said, cast it onto the ground.
Cast it onto the ground, but we're not going to cast this on the ground because this is our nation flag, right? Our nation flag is not supposed to touch the ground because this is our nation flag. We honor that flag. We honor the Most High that gave it to us. It's in light of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? It's a symbol of the Most High, of the 12 tribes. It's symbolic. You know what I'm saying? We're not worshiping this flag, but it's of the Most High. He said it's an ensign. Is that what he said? He said we shall set up an ensign. So don't make this as like this is a bad thing. It's a good thing that we have a flag to show that we're a kingdom. Okay, go ahead, Art.
The book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 5. That they may believe that the Most High power of their fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob hath appeared unto thee.
Okay, the Most High gave me a vision in 2012. Okay, this is how ironic this is. He gave me a vision in 2012. Create a flag, to plant that flag in Washington, D.C., at the capital of Washington, D.C., and at the United Nations. So those are signs that I'm supposed to give to my people. That's what the signs I gave to my people. Did my people believe that sign? Did they believe it? Well, the Most High went further, because there's a second sign that the Most High has given me in 2021. There was a second sign in 2021 the Most High gave me. And that sign was about the transatlantic slave trade. That was after 2012. But ironically, the 12 is turned to 21. 2000. From 2012 to 2021. It's crazy how the Most High works and operates in regards to bringing out his scriptures that he want to be brought out. And see, the thing is that how the royal blood of the king that was brought over here during the transatlantic slave trade of 1619, and according to Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15, and Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36, how he brought it out in 2021, how the connection of the transatlantic slave trade was that of my father, our former king, Oscar Bud Tucker, Angola and Bondi. How we found that out. See, only the Holy Spirit can allow us to bring something out like that that we know nothing about, that nobody else brought out, that understood the scriptures better than we did, better than we better than they're supposed to be, better than we do. But they left that out. You telling me they didn't understand what was happening in regards to Deuteronomy 28:36, that a king came over here? I believe that they do. I believe that they did understand. But they allowed the narrative to be stuck on Deuteronomy 28:68. But now the Most High brought it forth. And he allowed the person that he chose on that bloodline of the king that he set over the Indungos during the Transatlantic slave trade to bring it forth. How ironic is that? See? That's what I'm saying. The second vision. He said if they don't believe the first vision, where's that part at? Well, if they don't believe the first vision, which is the vision, the first sign, which is the vision he gave me in 2012, then what did it say, Op?
Exodus.
The book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 8. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign.
The first sign, where's the vision? The first sign, if my people would believe that when I say, according to Exodus chapter 3, verses 13 to 14, the Most High sent me, the first, wouldn't believe the first sign, which is the vision that I said that he gave me, then there's a second sign. What does it say? If they wouldn't believe the first sign,
and it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe also these two signs, neither hearken unto thy voice, that thou shalt take of the water of the river and pour it upon the dry land, and the water which thou takest out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land.
Well, the Most High ain't having me to do all that. I don't have that. That's already been done. But the Most High is creating miracles for us to see. The Most High is creating miracles for us to see. Miracle is to know, to understand Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. That there is a king over here that's able to create declarations and decrees on behalf of the children of Israel to move them forward. According to Isaiah chapter 11, verses 1 through 3. According to Isaiah chapter 11, verses 10 through 12. According to Psalms, give me Psalms. According to Psalms chapter 108, verses 8. These are the authorities that the Most High has given me. According to the power and authority of Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15, and Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. To create decrees and declarations. According to Psalms chapter 108, verses 8, read out.
The book of Psalms, chapter 108, verse 8. Gilead is mine, Manasseh is mine. Ephraim also is the strength of mine head. Judah is my lawgiver.
Judah is my lawgiver. That's why it's important to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. Because I am Judah. I am of the tribe of Judah. And Judah follows the law. All things are lawful unto me. Keep that out and give me 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 12. Because Judah is the lawgiver. Judah is the lawgiver, see? And all things are lawful unto me. Not legal. Not legal. See, you got that out? Read 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verses 12, verse 12, Bach.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 12. All things are lawful unto me.
See, the Most High said all things, the word of the Most High said all things are lawful unto me. Not legal.
But all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me.
All things are lawful for me. All things are lawful for me. See? The Most High said all things are lawful for me. See? Not legal for me.
But I will not be brought under the power of any.
Meaning the legal power of any. meaning that we can't be under the power of legal and be under the power of lawful at the same time.
Bring it out.
We can't do that. We got to choose one or the other. And see, right now, most of my people are claiming to be so-called black people, or so-called African American people, or so-called Africans. Those are not real nationalities. Those are not real identities. Those are labels. Those are labels. We're not labels. We are a nation, a kingdom of people. That's who we are. We are a kingdom of people that were kidnapped during the transatlantic slave trade. See, according to the Holy Bible, according to Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15, according to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, according to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, according to Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. That's who we are. When you put that stuff together, have the spirit of discernment to bring those scriptures together and let everybody understand how the Spirit is moving to bring our people to understanding of who we truly are. According to the scriptures, it can't be denied. According to history of the transatlantic slave trade, it can't be denied. Because we have the Spirit and the power of discernment right here upon us. We have the power of the Most High. We have the sovereignty. We have the sovereignty of the Most High. We have the power. We have the knowledge. We have the wisdom to feel and understand what the Most High is telling us, because it's in our blood. Those of us who understand and have the true knowledge of understanding, the true knowledge of the wisdom of bringing the scriptures to where they're supposed to be and how they're supposed to be brought forward, so that our people will understand in the way we're supposed to go. It's simple. If it's being brought out from the complicity in which is being distributed to our people, to make it simple to where we will understand what's going on. Make it simple for the simple people. Simple so they will understand and comprehend that we need to be going in another direction. That we need to be on focus with Genesis chapter 15, verse 14, of demanding our reparations. Demanding our reparations that are due us. That's right. To bring us together, to bring us to be able to go and worship our Most High in the wilderness of Judah, Yahada in Hebrew. Where we at,
I just gave you 1 Corinthians.
I told you to hold. What did I tell you to hold?
Psalms 108.
Go back to Psalms 108. Because the Most High has given us the power and the authority through Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. The authority through Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36, to enforce his laws, statutes, and commandments, along with Psalms chapter 108, verse 8. Read it again, Art.
The book of Psalms, chapter 108.
Read the last part.
The book of Psalms, chapter 108, verse 8. Judah is my lawgiver.
Judah is my lawgiver. Give me Psalms chapter 60, verse 7, Art. See, Psalms chapter 60, verse 7, it is before 108, but it also says the same thing. Read, you got it out? Read it. See, this gives confirmation.
The book of Psalms, chapter 60, verse 7. Gilead is mine, and Manasseh is mine. Ephraim also is the strength of mine head. Judah is my lawgiver.
Judah is my lawgiver. And Judah does everything lawfully, not legally. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 23 out. Judah does things lawfully. And if he chooses to, he will do things legally. He will enter contracts legally. If he chooses to voluntarily enter into it. Not be compelled to enter into any contracts, but voluntarily, with informed knowledge of the contract that he's entered into, not to be compelled to enter into any contract that he's not wanting to enter into. You know, like the so-called black people, like the so-called African American people, like the so-called African people, legally being forced and compelled to enter into contracts that they do not wish to enter into, or that they pray not to enter into. Shalom, shalom. Yeah, that's right. What is that?
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 23. All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not.
See, the Most High again confirms that everything is lawful, not legal. We don't do things legal unless we want to. We got to control it. We got to be able to control it. That's why there's a legal you, which is the government you, which is paperwork from the government. And there's a lawful you, which is created by the Most High. And in order to understand the difference between lawful and legal, you got to know who you are. You got to know we have to know who we are lawfully, and we have to know who they say we are legally, in order to control who you are legally, who they say you are legally. Because if you don't understand who you are legally, you're going to die legally. You're going to die, you're going to perish legally. See? Not lawfully, legally. And that's what's happening to our people, because our people are saying they're so-called black, they're so-called African Americans, they're so-called Africans. Those are no nationalities. They have no language. You can't be something that you're not, that no one's recognizing. So therefore, and that's why it's on a local level. We march on a local level. We ask for some kind of justification, justice on a local level, when it's actually an international level. It's an international level. And once my people understand that it's international, not local, the better we'll be. The better we'll be, because we've been local since the 60s. And we've gotten nowhere being locally. No justice being locally. So we got to take it higher, where it should be in the first place. Being local is being on the right jurisdiction. We got to be in the right jurisdiction. The right jurisdiction is international jurisdiction. That's a lawful jurisdiction. You know, because nothing is being done locally. That's why we hear federal, at the federal building. That's why we have a case in federal jurisdiction. The case number 1:20 CV 2988 in this court, in federal. That's to go to federal, to get to international. That's the process. We started in state, well, we didn't start in state court on this case, but on Zachariah Yazrael case, we started in city court. I think we started in city court, went to state court, then went to federal court. Case what? Zachariah Yazrael case. What is this case number?
Case 20A171.
That's in the Supreme Court, ain't that right? That's in the Supreme Court. See, we've been dealing with cases. We've been dealing with our situation because the Spirit said that would happen. The Spirit said that we would face these people in the International Court of Law. But we started from city court, state court, federal court, international court. Supreme Court. The appeals court, Supreme Court, international court. That's where we started at. That's what the vision said we would do. We would go to the International Court of Law. That's where we at. See? So there's nothing out of order about the vision. There's nothing out of order about the second sign, which the Most High gave us according to Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 28. 17, verse 15. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. No, that's the second sign, about the king. So everything is in order. But the problem is that our people are not bringing this forth. That's out of order. That's what's out of order. Scripture's not being brought forth, right? Because we're supposed to be getting ready to Exodus. Where are we supposed to be getting ready to Exodus to? Give me Judges chapter 1, verse 16. We're supposed to be gathering according to Isaiah chapter 10, verse 10 through 12 to prepare to Exodus. According to Judges chapter 1, verse 16, we're supposed to prepare to Exodus. Where?
The book of Judges, chapter 1, verse 16. And the children of the Kenite, Moses' father-in-law, went up out of the city of palm trees with the children of Judah into the wilderness of Judah, which lieth in the south of Arad.
Yeah, how many of you know the Arad? Arad spelled A-R-A-D. Arad. It says that they went into the wilderness of Judah south of Arad. Arad is actually Mount Zion. Do y'all understand what Mount Zion is? Mount Zion is where the Messiah is supposed to rise. Mount Zion. Shalom, shalom. So Mount Zion is where the Messiah is supposed to come. Did you know that? All praises. All praises to the Most High. So if we want to wait on the Messiah, we're supposed to be over in the wilderness. According to Isaiah, we're in the prophecies of Isaiah. We're in the prophecies of Jeremiah. That's what the prophecy says. We're supposed to prepare with our reparations according to Genesis chapter 15, verse 14. That's the prophecies we in. And we can't fulfill that prophecy without Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15, and Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. Authority to create decrees and declarations to bring us together as the children of Israel that went into captivity. Who went into captivity? We got to put that on documented. That's got to be documented. So there's got to be a separation. The separation is by declaration. By declaring who you are. By declaring who we are, that means that we have a right to reparations. See? When you document it, that means you document it for reparations. Once we declare who we are, that's why we have to be separated. That's why we can't claim to be black. That's why we can't claim to be African Americans. That's why we can't claim to be Africans. The Most High said, and you shall know that he no dog shall wag his tail. That you should know that he shall put a difference between the children of Israel, the Egyptians, and the children of Israel. That's why there must be a separation. Give me that. You know what verse that is? What chapter that is? The Most High says that he put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. That means that's a sign, not just for the Egyptians, but for all the nations in which we were scattered. We must be put in a difference, make a difference between where we were scattered. You got it up? The Most High says that he makes a difference between who the nations we were scattered into. Read it out.
The book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how the Most High doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
See, if the Most High is saying that he puts a difference between the Egyptians and Israel, then there must be a difference placed against all nations in Israel. See? There must be a difference between all the nations of the world and Israel. That's why we create these declarations and tell the children of Israel to come and declare your nationality. Because there must be an understanding of who the people were that went into captivity during the transatlantic slave trade. The people that went into captivity during the transatlantic slave trade are of the kingdom, the southern kingdom, which was the tribe of Benjamin, the tribe of Levi, and the tribe of Judah, of the southern kingdom. Those were the tribes of the transatlantic slave trade, because the other tribes were already scattered. They was already in places, according to Second Azarus, right? They was already here. So it couldn't have been nobody but the southern kingdom that Deuteronomy, that Genesis chapter 15 verse 13 is talking about. They went into the transatlantic slave trade. That's where we put things in perspective. That's how we understand things. That's how we understand the order of things, the true order of things. When we understand scriptures of the Holy Bible, when we're talking about the scriptures of the Holy Bible, when we're trying to understand prophecies of the Holy Bible, what the Bible talks about, the order in which we are to be in at this moment in time. And the order we in is the Isaiah and Jeremiah. See? We are the true children of Israel that the Holy Bible speaks about. We are the true children of Israel that was placed in captivity and went through rape, murder, and things of that atrocity. We are the ones that are waking up to the truth. We are the ones that are demanding reparations, according to Genesis chapter 15, verse 14. We are the ones demanding to be restored, according to Jeremiah chapter 30. Give me that out. According to Jeremiah chapter 30, verses 17 through 24. It's that time. But we must do things in the order in which they are given. Not in our own understanding, but the way the Most High said it should go. The way that the Most High said it must go. That's what we must do. That's how we must do it. By the spirit of discernment. In the order in which it is given. You got it up? Okay, read it.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 17. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Most High. Because they called thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. Thus saith the Most High, Behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places. And the city shall be builded upon her own heap.
Upon his own heap. Remember, he brought out Judges chapter 1, verse 16. And it said that the wilderness of Judah lies south of Arad. That's a heap right now. Arad is laying in heaps. It's very significant what he just said. You seen that part where he said heap? Okay, read that part again. Because right now Arad is destroyed. Up on the hill, it's destroyed. And the Most High said, according, he will restore it. He said he will restore it. Is that right? Okay, let's read it again.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 18. Thus saith the Most High, Behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places, and the city shall be builded upon her own heap.
Hold on. See, he said he shall bring the tents. We're supposed to go out in the wilderness. I mean, with modern day resources, we really don't have to live in no tents. But we need stuff to our resources. The resources of Genesis chapter 15, verse 14. To be able to survive out in the wilderness, that we're supposed to go out to worship to the Most High. That's why Genesis chapter 15, verse 14 must be fulfilled. We must be given our great substance, our great reparations. And the great reparations include our land, the land of Ndongo that we were kidnapped from, and the land that was stolen from us. That must be given back to us. We must be restored to that land. And we, as the Malik, the king of the reigning king, the current king of Angola, Ndongo, ready to receive and to be restored back to the kingdom. I'm ready to receive all the resources that is due us. The blood of the king of Angola and Bandi. The kingdom of Angola. The kingdom of Matemba. Is it? Matemba. That's right. The resources. So we will be able to exit it to the wilderness with our resources to build, to rebuild. As Isaiah chapter 60 says. Isaiah chapter 60 said that we should go back into the wilderness. Yeah, with our resources, with our silver and our gold. That's right. Read it out. Isaiah chapter 60, verses, what is that, 9 through 10? That's right. That's what the Bible says. This is not my opinion. This is what the Bible says. Read out.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 9. Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first.
No, read verse 8 first. Isaiah chapter 60, verse 8.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 8. Who are these that fly as a cloud, and as the doves to their windows? Surely the isles shall wait for me.
Hold on. The scripture said, who is these who fly to their windows like a cloud, like a dove? That's how we're going to get to our land. That's how we're going to get there, get it. That's how we're going to get there, to our land. That's how we're going to get there to our land. You know, by read that first part again. That refers to us. You know, how are we going to get to our land? How are we going to get back to there?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 8. Who are these that fly as a cloud, and as the doves to their windows?
Who are these that fly like a cloud and like a dove to their windows? Meaning the windows is to their land. To their land. That's how we're going to get back. But we can't leave without something. We got to have something before we leave. We can't leave without nothing. And Isaiah chapter 60 goes further to tell you what we got to leave with. Read out.
The book of Isaiah chapter 60, verse 9. Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first.
See, we're not with the ships of Tarshish is not coming to get us. So that's why the first part of Isaiah chapter 60 verse 8 is important. How do we fly? How do we get there? We're going to fly. We're going to fly to our land. That's what Isaiah says. And we know this is prophecy. See, the Messiah is not here to do that. So we understand that this is another part before we get to the Messiah, to take us to the wilderness, right? See how this connection is coming together? It can't. We got to deal with Isaiah. Go ahead, read out.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 9. Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from afar, thy silver and their gold with them, unto the name of the Most High thy power, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee.
See, the Most High is going to bring us with our silver and our gold by flying, not by flying saucers, but modern. You know what? In the time past, what we have now will be considered flying saucers, unidentified flying objects. In their time, am I right? That goes along with Ezekiel seeing the wheel. Ezekiel could have saw a helicopter. Ezekiel could have saw a helicopter. In our time, from our time, in his time. That would have been an unidentified object, flying object. What he saw. A helicopter. With lights. That he saw with lights. With a spilling propeller. You see what I'm saying? We're putting things in perspective here. See? Spiritually. Prophetically. See? Yeah, we're going to hear the last verses of chapter 60.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 22. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Most High, will hasten it in his time.
Okay. Okay. That's right. So he's bringing it out. He's bringing it out. The Most High is having us to bring it out because it's that time. We're bringing it all out. We ain't leaving nothing to under the rocks. We are turning all rocks, everything, to put everything in perspective, to leave nothing out. That's right. Because the Most High is having us bringing out the truth. Yeah. We're bringing out the truth. We're not scheming. We're not trying to do anything to discourage our people. But the truth, if the truth is discouraging, then I feel sorry for you. If the truth is discouraging, you know, because I'm not the one that's trying to leave out Deuteronomy 17 verse 15. I'm not the one trying to leave out Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36. I'm trying to bring that out. No, I ain't trying, I'm doing it. I'm bringing that out along with Deuteronomy 28:68 that all my people are bringing out. See? So I'm not trying to hide anything. So don't try to switch the hate of me because I'm bringing out the truth. I'm offended. I'm offended by my people. The Most High is offended by his people because they're saying they're following something else that's not allowing them to bring out all his laws. So who are we following? If it's not the Most High having his people to bring out all of Deuteronomy 28, then who is stopping them from bringing it out? And they call that their Most High? No, that ain't of the Most High. Shalom. That ain't the Most High. The Most High ain't asking nobody to hide his scriptures, his prophecies. He ain't doing that. So I'm not with that. I'm with the Most High just telling me to bring out all his laws, statutes, and commandments. Because I fear Proverbs chapter 28 verses 9 through 10. Is that what it is? I fear it. I fear that. Because my prayers, I want my prayers to be heard. When he hear me, I want him to hear my prayers. I don't want to be like on deaf ears. See? The Most High is telling me to bring out Deuteronomy 17 verse 15. The Most High, I am that I am, Exodus chapter 3 verse 13 through 14. He's the one telling me to bring it out. Nobody else. Because if it was someone else, I wouldn't be bringing it out. I wouldn't be bringing it out. Because nobody else is saying that such and such told me to bring out Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15. Nobody else is saying such and such told me to bring out Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36. No, they only saying such and such is telling me to bring out Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. That's half of the truth. Even Satan knows that he got to bring out some truth before he can tell a lie. Let me say that again. Even Satan has to bring out some truth before he could tell a lie. So I'm not bringing out half truth. I'm bringing out the whole truth. So is Satan hating me? Is Satan hating on me? I'm offended. I'm offended that the Most High is offended. That the Most High's laws, all of his laws, statutes, and commandments are not being brought out by his people. I'm offended. Wow. And I'm grateful because the weather said that there was going to be rain. The Most High cleared that up real quick. There's no rain. It's a beautiful day. That's a miracle. What time is it? What time is it? It was supposed to be raining at 2 o'clock, wasn't it? Oh man, you see how beautiful the Most High is? It's unbelievable. The Most High cleared that all up. Yeah, man. The Most High cleared all that up. You know, so that this word be brought out. I give all praises to the Most High Ahayah. That's real powerful. See? He wanted this word to come out on behalf of his people, on behalf of the Most High, to his people, and to those who follow in truth and righteousness. The truth shall make us free. The truth shall make us free. Knowing all the truth, all of it, to put things, everything in perspective, in order to go forward truthfully and righteously and honestly. That's what the Second March to Exodus movement is about. SM to EM for short. This is a movement. This is not an organization. This is not a legal organization. It's not a non-profit organization ruled by 26 U.S.C. 501c3. It's not in any of that. This is ruled by the Most High, lawfully, not legally by man. It's ruled by the Most High. I give all praises to the Most High for allowing us to be out here on His behalf and on behalf of the 12 tribes of Israel. Because it's that time, and everything is being set right. All praises to the Most High. And we're ready for our reparations to be restored. Yeah. Let's talk about real money. Let's talk about legal tender. Real money is lawful. Legal tender is what it is, legal tender. The real money is out of circulation. So, on the Sabbath, the people who believe that they are buying something with this legal tender, it's impossible. It's impossible to buy something with legal tender because it's not real money. Legal tender is debt. Let me say that again. Legal tender is debt. You can't purchase nothing with a debt. It's not your personal debt. It's the government's debt that they make you believe is your debt. But it's not your debt. And we got to understand the difference between lawful and legal. We got to understand the difference between lawful money and legal tender. Legal tender is a promise to pay the person that they've given the legal tender to. I'm talking about the government giving Federal Reserve notes to us. It's a bank note. It's a bank note. Man. It's a bank note. Legal tender is a bank note. It's a piece of paper. See, once we understand that we are being ruled by paper, then we'll understand the process of what we need to rescind and how we need to rescind the paper contracts that we entered into. See, the Most High deal with covenants. The word contract is nowhere in the Bible. The word contract is nowhere in the Bible. The only thing you will find anything close to the word contract is a covenant that the Most High creates. He creates covenants. He does not create contracts. Covenants are lawful. Contracts are legal. See what I'm saying? Understand the difference between legal and lawful. It's very significant because we operate lawful and we operate legal. But lawful trumps legal. So therefore, you got to be in your proper status in order to rule over legal. Legal is voluntary. Lawful is natural. Now, being lawful is natural, meaning that you was born lawful. You was born natural. Whereas legal means that you was born of fiction. Means that you really don't exist. Legal is fictional law. It's color of law. Do your research and find out the difference between what is color of law. Color of law is something that appears to be law. It means that it was made up. It means that it's not real law. Color of law is not real law. It's legal. Believe me, the Most High knows who He chooses when He chooses people to do things on behalf of His people. They will understand the difference between certain things that He has shown them spiritually and prophetically by the spirit of discernment. You got to have the spirit of discernment to understand what's going on. If you don't, then you're guided blindly. You're being misled blindly. So I'm here to tell my people, what I do is lawfully. It's lawful. It's not legal, but I understand legal. In order to understand lawful, I got to understand legal. In order to understand what something has been done to me legally, when something is done to me legally, and how it affects me lawfully. See? And when I say that we are international transit foreigner, dual American national republics, domiciled in the kingdom of heaven, that means that I'm placing us in the jurisdiction of the Most High. That can be taken out of the hand of the Most High. When I do that, there's no way that my people can be plucked out of the hand of the Most High, because what I speak is powerful. When I say that we are a transit foreign nationals, I'm saying that we are protected. But when I say that my people are black people, when I say that my people are African American people, when I say that my people are Africans, my people have got to understand that I'm calling you legal. I'm agreeing with your oppressors to sacrifice you legally. To agree with you being sacrificed legally. That's what's happening to our people. And my people are not understanding. My people are not bringing out all the laws. And because of all of these things, you're cursed. My people are cursed. They're saying that they're blessed. My people don't understand the breakage of the sorcery of words. Because if you separate the be from bless, you get less. Listen to me, my people. Satan, his devices are wicked in many ways, in many aspects of the word sorcery. You got to be on your P's and Q's at all times. I would rather be increased by the Most High Ahayah than be blessed by Satan. Because when I break the be away from bless, it becomes less in disguise as being increased. Because our thought is to believe that saying that our people are blessed is being increased. But see, there's two sides to every story. You can be increased or you can be blessed. Because even Satan said that he took the Messiah up on the high mountain and showed him all the wonders of the world. And said, all this I will give to you if you bow down to me. So, is it possible that when we believe that we are being increased, that we call blessed, that we take away the be, we actually are being less in spirit? Let me say that again. Is it possible that when we believe that we're being increased, that according to what Satan said to the Messiah, that he took up on the mountain and showed him all the wonders of the world and told him that if you bow down and worship me, all of this I will give to you? That possible that he's doing the same thing to us? Saying that I will bless you, meaning if you take away the being, that he will bless us if we fall down and worship us, to make us believe that we've been increased instead by the Most High. Do you understand that? That we're being increased. No. It's a play on words. We're being less. Take away the be from bless, and you got less. Whereas we're giving our souls for material things. The Most High wakes us up. He sure does. I won't dispute that. I won't deny that the Most High wakes us up every day of our lives. But why does he wake us up every day of our lives? So that one day we will get it right. that we will get his scriptures and his prophecies right order. Get it in the right order. But one day, remember Proverbs chapter 28, verse 9 through 10. He who does not listen to his laws, his prayer shall be abomination. If we don't listen to all his laws, statutes, and commandments, shall we perish in sin? That's what he said. He said we will perish in sin if we don't go by his laws, statutes, and commandments. So do we have a seared conscience? Is our conscience seared? That we don't want to listen to the Most High? That we don't want to believe that what he says is the truth? That if we don't follow his laws, statutes, and commandments, that we shall perish? That we're taking it for granted? I mean, actually, literally refusing to acknowledge his laws, statutes, and commandments of Genesis chapter 15, verse 14, Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. Are we really that naive to believe that we will be forgiven for totally disregarding his laws, statutes, and commandments when up and down the Bible he says it's abomination? It's abomination to neglect his laws, statutes, and commandments. Are we trying to manipulate his laws, statutes, and commandments to pacify our own selves? We're going to pay for it in the end. Those of us who will not obey his laws, statutes, and commandments, we're going to pay for it. Not me. Like I said earlier, I fear the Most High. I fear his wrath. And it's coming. Oh, it's coming. And if you don't repent, and then those of you who are refusing to abide by Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36, 28, 36, you're gonna pay. You're not gonna go unpunished, because the Most High said his law, his word shall not return to him void. Ain't that what he said up? His word shall not return to him void. It shall accomplish wherever he sends it, and whatever he pleases, it shall do. These words are not my words. These opinions are, I don't have opinions. I have scriptures. I have history. I have prophecies. I have historical proof of what I speak. They can't be denied. They can't be disputed. Because the Most High said it's true. And he gave it to us. Nobody is denying Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. Nobody is trying to deny Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. What's up, brother? How you doing? Our praises to the Most High. Our praises. But like I said, we are here on behalf of our people, to bring our people together as one, like the Most High wants us to bring together, having us to bring together, placing cases in courts to make known of our awakening, to be with desire to be with the Most High, and our will to be with the Most High, because there's nothing else to look forward to. It's all vanity. I want to go to the kingdom, and according to the vision given to me, according to the second sign that is given to me, I'm headed there. And I want all my people to go with me. I believe in what the Most High is saying to me. I'm not proud and I'm not boasting. And if I am proud and if I'm boasting, it's on behalf of the Most High. I'm proud and I'm boasting on the Most High, because of what he's showing me and what he is giving me in order to accomplish what he having me to accomplish on his behalf and on behalf of his people. It's honorable. It's righteous. It's truthful. I give all praises to the Most High for allowing me to be part of it. I'm not ashamed. I'm going forward. I'm going forward with all the scriptures that's being brought forth. Do not come to me and try to tell me, oh, give me scriptures after the fact, and try to say, oh, we're going this way. No, you still not bringing out Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. You still not bringing out Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. You can't show me anything if you're not showing me Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. Those scriptures. If you're not bringing out those scriptures, and you're trying to bring out other scriptures instead, you still you still out of order. You're still disobedient to the Most High, because you refusing to acknowledge Deuteronomy 17:15, Deuteronomy 28:36, and you're trying to get around it by bringing out other scriptures. And that's the way it is. We gotta be ready to accept the truth scriptures of the Holy Bible. It is what it is, whether people like it or whether they hate it. It's still gotta be brought forth. It's still gotta be brought forth of who we are. That's the only way we're gonna get reparations, because we gotta understand who actually went into captivity. What people, what nation, what kingdom of people went into captivity during the transatlantic slave trade? What king went into captivity during the transatlantic slave trade of 1619? Then we will know that we have a right to reparations. We have something to go off of. And we have a king with authority to make decrees and declarations on our behalf. The Most High knew what he was doing. The people don't know what he was doing. They trying to hide things. But declarations and decrees must be created by authority, royal authority, on behalf of the children of Israel, by a king that the Most High set over his people, according to Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. There must be authority. No camp leader, no other person has authority to do what Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15, or Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36 says or give on behalf of the Most High and on behalf of the children of Israel. There must be authority. There is authority to enforce Isaiah chapter 11, verse 1 through 3. To enforce Isaiah chapter 11, verses 10 through 12. To enforce Genesis chapter 15, verse 14. There must be some kind of authority. Yep. See if I set that right out. Can you see it? I was doing that so it won't tip over again. Can you see it good?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah. There must be some kind of authority to move the children of Israel forward, to move us forward. There must be some kind of authority that the Most High gave us. He gave us authority. Right? We got to utilize it. There must be decrees created on our behalf. And there's been a declaration for all the nations that we've been scattered. There's been identifications, there's been tags, lawful tags created on our behalf as a nation of people with a flag. See, we got to be recognized by the nations of the world. Oh, and identifications. We got to be recognized by all the nations. This is the ways of international law. This is the way of the laws. This is, most importantly, is biblical. Most importantly. Most importantly, overall. Not because of the government, but because of the laws of the Holy Bible. Nothing outrules the laws of the Holy Bible. The Constitution may be the law of legal land, but it is not the law of the spiritual land. The Bible is the law of the spiritual land. And there's the children of Israel that's part of that law, a part of those laws that they must follow without excuses from any man. You know, without the contrary to any law of man. The Israelites are bound by covenant. They are bound by covenant. Whether they like it or not, they must follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, not man, whether they like it or not. That's what makes it lawful. What we do is lawful, not legal. And see, our oppressors know this too. They know that once the children of Israel wake up, they have no choice but follow the law as the law is given to the children of Israel. We have to follow the law according to the Most High. Follow the law of the Most High. All praises, all praises. We have no choice. So when it comes to man law and the law of the Most High, his law is going to rule over man. And that's what's happening right here. We're putting things in perspective the way they're supposed to go. We're in the jurisdiction of the Most High. Right now we're on federal jurisdiction. Did y'all understand? Do y'all understand the land we on right now is different from that land across the street? You know what I'm saying? That land across that street. But right now we're on federal jurisdiction. This is not state jurisdiction. This is not city jurisdiction. This is the closest jurisdiction to international jurisdiction. See? You got to understand the difference between lawful and legal. See? We're on the next step to international jurisdiction. Because we're international people with the international royal flag. See? We got international tribal identifications. See? We are a nation, we are a kingdom of people. By the mighty power of the Most High. We are recognized. Whether it be the people of Ndongo or whether it be biblically, we are recognized because we are a people that went into captivity during the Transatlantic slave trade, that the higher people know that we are. And they know that there is a king over here. They know that my father was a king, sitting on the highest mountain in Tennessee. Yeah. Before he passed away, the Most High brought it out. But before he passed away in 2021, the Most High passed it out, brought it out. He passed away in 2022 though, right? But in 2021, the Most High brought the truth out. My father was 93 years old. Right before he passed, he brought it out. You tell me that ain't no miracle. You tell me that ain't no miracle on the Most High. That is a miracle. That is a miracle. The second sign. If you don't believe the miracle or the first sign of my vision, then you must believe the second sign of Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15 and Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 36. You can't not believe both of them. Can't make this up. You can't make this stuff up. Gotta have the spirit of discernment to discern these things, to be brought forth. I've been chosen by the Most High. I am that rod and that root of Jesse. And prophecy must be fulfilled. Prophecy is being fulfilled. Here's your ensign for the children of Israel. I give all praises to the Most High and honor to the Most High our Father, which art in heaven, for allowing me to understand the difference between a transit foreigner, international, republic, dual international republic, domiciled in the kingdom of heaven. Understanding these words is key because it puts things together lawfully. The Most High. Everything is lawful. When you understand the law, then you won't take the law for granted, and then you understand that you're following the laws correctly. Everything is lawful. It's a beautiful day, man. Man, this is a beautiful day. The Most High actually stopped the rain. Wow. This time it happened. Yeah, we're waiting for federal court judge. What's her name? Sarah Evans Barker. Sarah Evans Barker to do the right thing. We're waiting for the district judge, Sarah Evans Barker, to do the right thing, to rule righteously and truthfully, as she's supposed to, on behalf of our people. Because if she rules for one, she rules for all. If she rules against one, she rules against all. And when I say rule against, I mean that she's saying that we're her slaves. Not just someone else's slaves, because she's the one doing the ruling. If she rule against Yeshaya, Michael Yisrael, if she rule against him, then she's saying that we her slaves. But if she rules in his favor, she's saying that we're not slaves at all. But this case been in the court for a long time. So we're trying to figure out why case number 1:20 CB 2988 is taking so long to be ruled on. Truthfully, righteously, spiritually. Shalom, Mark. Shalom, Mark. He got his earphones on. We on these, pass them out. That's what we got them for. You know? But truthfully, it's got to be ruled on truthfully. Can't be taken for granted. The Most High had me to place that case in the court in November. November what? 23rd?
Yeah, it was.
November the 23rd, 2020? We're in 2022 now. See? And we also have cases in the International Court of Justice. International Court, because the Most High said that this is international. And the closest thing to spiritual is the International Court. Here's the International Court. That's the closest thing to being spiritual. Lawful. See? Praise the Most High for giving. I give honor for the Most High for giving me this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to bring this truth forth. It's definitely an increase, but we're waiting for the breakthrough. We're waiting for the breakthrough. Man, breakthrough. And we're praying for the righteous breakthrough. We're praying for a righteous ruling on our behalf, the way it's supposed to be. This brother his property was taken. The second March to Exodus movement property was taken. You know what I'm saying? Didn't they take your IDs and stuff? Yeah, they took his IDs. That's the property of the second March to Exodus movement. You know, and they didn't give him notice that he was able to call his counsel, according to Article 36 of the Vienna Convention on relationships, on counsel relations. See, those are violations. Those are international violations. We're talking about battery. We're talking about all of those violations. Must be compensated in cases. In that case 1:20 CB 2988. You know, the ruling judge, Sarah Evans Barker, in this court, yeah, we have business here, in this court, yeah, all praises to the Most High. So, let us move forward like with spiritual, in the spiritual realm of the Most High. The way He's allowing us to, placing us to do His will righteously. And the way He wants us to do His will. The way it's supposed to be done, His will. Give all praises to the Most High, right? All praises, all praises. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, we out here passing out flyers. Yeah, show them the flyers, man. So that shows the truth. You know, truth tells the truth about who we are. You know, that we pass out to the people. You know, this is like 2 pages that equals a total of 8 on each side. Show them different ways, different pages out. Yeah. To give everybody notice of who we are, what we doing, why we doing it, how we doing it, and on whose behalf we doing it on. Because the Most High said it's time to be brought forward, the truth, so we can move forward with prophecy according to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Because it's really, everything is ready to be done the way it's supposed to be done on His behalf. You see all the knowledge and wisdom and the information being given to the people. We give all praises to the Most High. So I'm telling my people, we got to bring out Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. You can't be denied in moving forward. We want our reparations according to Genesis chapter 15, verse 14. It's all right, and we demand it. We demand to be restored to who we are, who the Most High says we are. Yep, that's where we at. And that's what we need to do. That's where we're coming from. I'm telling my people. I'm asking my people. They call themselves so-called black people. Call themselves so-called African Americans. They call themselves so-called Africans to come and declare themselves with the Second March to Exodus movement, SM to EM for short, because we love you. We love you, and we know this is the way because the Most High is showing us the truth. We're bringing out all the truth, not half truth. We're bringing out all of Deuteronomy 28. We're bringing out Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. We're bringing out Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. And we're bringing out Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. Not half truth, but all the truth. So that means that we with the right Most High. The Most High, the true Most High will have all His laws, statutes, and commandments brought out. Don't take that for granted. Hear me closely. The true Most High will not hide His statutes, laws, and commandments. The true Most High will have all His laws, statutes, and commandments brought forth. Not half of them, all of them. So who are you worshiping? Who are you saying that is having you to praise? Who are you praising? I'm praising the Most High that's having me to bring out all His laws, statutes, and commandments. That's who I praise. I praise the laws. I praise the Most High that showed me Deuteronomy 17, verse 15, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. I praise the one who showed me who my father was before he passed away, who our king was before he passed away at the age of 93, who he allowed to stay alive, and at the end to bring out Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. That's who I praise. I give praise to Him because no one else could have did that, because no one else did it. Everyone else is trying to hide. So tell me I'm wrong for praising the one who has me to bring out all of Deuteronomy chapter 28. I'm crazy? You mad at me? I'm offended. I'm offended. I'm mad at you for not bringing it out. I'm mad at my people. I'm offended by my people for not bringing out Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15, for not bringing out Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. Don't switch this thing on me. Don't switch this around on me. You're the one doing wrong. You're the one, my people is the one that needs to repent from trying to hide Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. Need to repent from trying to hide Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. It's not me. Don't switch this on me. Don't try to be angry at me because I speak the truth and you speak it half truth. Because someone trying to control the narrative. No, the narrative is that there's a king, a reigning Malik, a reigning Ndongo and Bandi. That's right. And he woke up and brought forth the true Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15, the true order of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36, the true order of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. The Most High woke him up. And the people that was controlling the narrative that didn't bring out Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15, and Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36, that brought out Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68 instead, are upset now. They are upset, that's the truth. They are upset because of the truth. They are upset because they couldn't continue to hide the truth. They're upset trying to change the narrative to make me feel like I'm the one that did the wrong thing. That I'm bringing out the truth and and they're upset at me. That doesn't make any sense. That's called manipulation. Now I'm the one upset, and the Most High is upset, and he's enforcing Proverbs chapter 28, verse 9 to 10. He's enforcing it against his people. So be ashamed. You be ashamed, because you're the one that's trying to hide his laws, statutes, and commandments, and claim to be with someone else. That's fornication. That's fornication. Yeah, that's right. Fornication don't have to be sex. It could be fornication against the Most High. According to Hosea. That's right. My people, the Most High people, is committing fornication against his laws, statutes, and commandments. Of Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. You're in fornication. Transgression of the law is sin. Let me say that again. Transgression of the law is sin. Either you repent and come back to the Most High, your prayers will continue to be abomination. Continue to not be heard by the Most High. Shalom. Shalom. Hey,
Got a flyer for you. Oh. No problem. Oh, thank you. The wind got strong.
Yeah, it sure is. The storm's coming in soon. I hope you guys stay dry.
I ain't worried about that.
Fair
Thanks,
enough.
man.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Appreciate it. You got tours, right? All right, take it easy.
Take it easy.
Yeah, go on right there. Yeah. By the power of the Most High, we bring forth this truth. Not of our own opinion, but of the Most High. The Most High. The truth. The truth of the Most High. See, that's what we're doing. The truth of the Most High. We don't want nothing else, but we want to do the truth. We want to speak the truth. No lies, no scheming, no deceptions, nothing but the truth. That's what we do. That's what we want. We want to be on the truth. We know that we're in a land of deception, but our will is to do the truth. Our will is to do the truth of the Most High, like we're supposed to, like He wants us to, in the order that He give it. Not deviate from it, not leave out anything, but to do everything that He says. And if we leave out certain scriptures, the people are being misled. We're not doing everything He said. The people are being misled.
So we give all praises to the Most High that we do everything correctly. His will, by His understanding, because it's that time. So I ask my people, are you with me? Or are you against me? If you're against me, you're against the Most High. Because everything I'm doing is righteous. I'm bringing out all laws. I'm bringing out all statutes and commandments. I'm not hiding anything. Woe unto those who call good evil and evil good. I'm good. What I'm doing is bringing out good scriptures, good information, righteous information. How you going to fault that? I'm not ashamed, but I'm offended. I'm offended, and the Most High definitely is offended. And you know the wrath of the Most High is something else. If you're upset about how I bring out the scriptures and how I bring out things, that's nothing compared to what the Most High is going to do. To those who are disobeying His scriptures, His laws and commandments of the Holy Bible, if you're not following the laws and scriptures of the Holy Bible the way He's bringing them out, then you are in error and your prayers are abomination. I give all praise to the Most High. We're going to get up out of here because we're not going to take His mercy for granted for allowing us to be able to. Oh, okay. For allowing us. So we're going to shut it down right now because we know that the storm is coming in eventually. Because the Most High was gracious to allow us to have this time to bring out this truth on behalf of our people and those who believe in the truth and in righteousness. At the place that we have a case, the federal government building, where we have a case 1:20 CB 2988 with District Court Judge Sarah Evans Barker to be enforced. To enforce our rights, our international rights, our local rights, our state rights, our city rights.
Shoot. Thanks.
Yeah. All our rights, all the rights that we're due, spiritually, biblically, and prophetically, as well as fundamentally. Naturally, natural rights. We are natural Hebrew Israelites. We are natural Ndongo people of the kingdom of Ndongo that was kidnapped during the Transatlantic slave trade. And we're here to be restored. We're here for our reparations. I love you, my people. I pray that you all are having a great Shabbat. I say shalom to you all. I love you. Keep you in your prayers. I ask that you keep me in your prayers. And don't hate me, but love me because I love you. I'm always bringing out the truth. It can't be denied, whether it be history, historical history, or whether it be prophetic prophecy. It is the truth, and it must be followed at all times. Love you. Most High increase and give us the breakthrough. Shalom.